Wendy over in Langhorne, landscaping, mulch install, ripping out bushes, a couple different things going on. So we'll start in the backyard. So they potentially, and I'm going to have it all line itemed out, so just check the notes for what they accept or don't accept or things of that sort. So this area in the backyard, looking to basically just clean up the area of the leaves and debris, any growth going on here, try to smack it out the best you can. There are some stones in there, so you won't be able to brush cut certain areas. You have to pull with your hands. Other areas you can string trim. Then I would like put down a bunch of preen, and then we'll do a non-dyed mulch in this whole area. So I asked them if they could have all their stuff cleared out, like seashells and the bikes and the sawhorses and all that. So yeah, non-dyed, like a playground mulch in this whole area. Probably not even a half a yard. And then the other thing, he said, like, water was sitting up against the house. So not that you'll be able to do a ton, but if you can try to have it a little higher in the back and maybe slightly slant it down this way, so the water will kind of naturally run down a little bit versus sitting on the house. But yeah, rake out this whole area, clear it up. Like I said, if there's stuff here, we'll just have to move it and put it back. I'll ask them to have it cleared when we come. So that's it for the backyard. Moving to the front. So it's not a huge property, but there's a lot going on. And I would recommend wearing some long sleeves and gloves, and those little wrist things that we have, just in case there's anything weird going on in here that, who knows what type of growth's going on. So just to protect yourself in here. So starting here, they're looking to keep the hosta, keep the rhododendron, and then the rest will be gone. So you just brush cut it, string trim it, rake it out, dig it down the best you can. They also want to price out with weed barrier fabric. I advised against it, but I'll put it in there as well if they really wanted to do that. But anyway, just basically completely clear this area out. I would spray a bunch of Roundup in any areas where there's not a plant. So go nuts with Roundup here. Throw your preen down, because this is crazy growth, so we're gonna have, chances are, stuff's gonna be coming back. Do your best to try to rake it out too and brush cut it down and really loosen up that soil to bust up all the weedy growth here in the front and the back. Anyway, so keeping that, the rest is gone. Edge it, mulch it, do a black mulch. All right, this tree, so I told him we'll be limited on what we can do, but essentially we're just gonna price him out on cutting it back off of the house, so you can use like the chainsaw extender, use the pole pruner, use some ladders. You just said, like, when it's windy, it smacks his house and smacks the gutters and smacks the windows. So just looking to clear a couple feet off of the house, those branches. And then if you wanted, like, if there's any weird ones that are way out, maybe you can trim them. I didn't even bring that up. It's really just along the house line, but just to give it more of a straight up and down look. That would be that. All right, so this thing, I gotta see what's going on down here. So I think that's gonna be too big of a bear. So you're gonna have to, they want to price on removing this completely. There's like a bunch of weird growth kind of overtaking it. Yeah, probably gonna need a stump grinder in there. I'll hit Paul up. But basically we would cut all this down, have PG stumps come in, chainsaw it down, or I'm sorry, stump grind it out, and then rake out the area and mulch it. So they basically want to, like, kind of clean up out here. They said, like, people before them had a bunch of plants, and they're not really, like, into all the plants, so they kind of want sort of like a clean slate. So a lot of brush cutting, raking out, clearing out, things of that sort. Essentially, at the end of the day, what they want to keep is the tree. And that's it for this bed. Everything else gone. Rip all that out. We're probably going to do this in 2 days, or 2 trips, I'm sorry, at least. Just one to get all the debris and crap out of here and then come back with the mulch, unless it's not that much. Maybe we can somehow put it in the bed of a truck. Anyway, clear out this entire bed, brush cut it, rake it down, clear it all out, spray Roundup, lay preen, bring in new mulch. Only thing we're keeping is the tree. And when you're spraying the Roundup, just, don't spray around the root of the tree. Again, price on ripping all that out and then clearing out all the beds here. Gonna take everything completely out, just ripping this whole bed out, basically starting from scratch. Again, they want it priced with a weed barrier fabric and without. Light, they're gonna keep that, so lightly prune and shape that. Everything else goes, clear it out, and mulch it up. Moving over to this small bed, same thing, clear everything out. You got these funky plants, I want it all gone. Obviously, just keep the tree. And then what I would say for the tree is, I told them we can just kind of lightly like prune around the edges just to try to round it off a little bit. So like your branches that are kind of, so for example, here in the front, just a little bit of branch that's like kind of over the sidewalk, just lightly prune all of, around the edges, just to try to round it off a little bit so that it can slowly over time fill back in. So that's that. And like I said, clear out everything down here and mulch it. Just be careful when you're going to town in here, there is an outlet in here. And then this bed, so you'd be prune and square off the whole hedge, rake out the bed, you could take that out, and then fresh mulch in there. So and that would be it. And then like that side's the neighbor, so we won't do any mulching on this side, and I wouldn't even trim that side, leave that for them, unless like they come out and say, hey, can you just trim that while you're doing it? But otherwise, just the top, the front you can do, and then the side for our customer. This is our customer, that's the neighbor. So, and like I said, all of this goes, keep the tree, light prune up, and that's it.